afternoon, Camp Davy Crockett.
I'm Hayden.
And I'm Zeph.
And I'm Caleb.
And welcome to the Camp Davy Chronicles.
Welcome to the podcast, friend of the show and camp ranger, Caleb Miller.
Friend of the show? That's pushing it a little bit, I think.
Is it? What do you think, Caleb?
Do you consider us to be friends?
I've known you long enough.
That's true. Well, I guess you've worked here longer than we have, but you've known us since we've worked here. You could almost say that you were kind of my first director because you're your twin brother, and so you're basically the same person. Your twin brother Jacob was my first director here, and I'm sure because you guys shared a cabin at that point. Yeah, so I'm sure that you guys took countless nights talking about me,
talking about how much trouble you were.
Yep, he was like, "This kid's terrible.
We should never hire him back."
Yeah,
definitely never put him as shooting sports director.
Well, you were a lot of trouble back then, but now look at where you are now.
Yeah, I know. See, like I said, countless hours of sleepless nights for Jacob, but not Caleb. Caleb didn't care.
No, I had more important things to deal with back then.
That's
like,
true.
Where were you working in 2018?
2018, I was still in aquatics.
Okay.
Were you?
Yeah.
I feel like you.
Did you work dining hall before you worked aquatics? Or
Let's just go straight to this question
well,
so we can sort
curious.
it out. What is your job, and what jobs have you had before on camp staff? Because there are a lot of them.
In order.
Order, yeah, chronological order, the entire history.
I worked dining hall, then aquatics, and then after 1 year as aquatics director, I got ranger.
Right. Okay.
So
See, that seems so weird.
Okay, I feel like you went back and forth.
I remember you as dining hall.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah. Because I just assumed you were the dining hall.
he was like the dining hall building and Caleb are identical identities.
Yeah, like, it's the triplets, Jacob, Caleb, and dining hall. Because that was back when we were in the old dining hall, and like
the good old dining hall.
How long had you worked at the dining hall?
See, I think my first year was 2011.
Wow.
And then,
that's a long time ago.
Oh, yeah. A really long time ago. So probably around 8-ish years in the dining hall.
Wow. And did you originally want to do that? Like when you first applied?
When I first applied, it was that, aquatics, or merit badge. And I really did not want to do merit badge.
Okay.
Interesting. So I guess you've worked here longer than anyone else you've interviewed except Mike and JD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's a long
Probably around 13 years now.
But you were also a camper before that, right? Whew.
So
wow.
close to 15 years in total.
Yeah, that's crazy. Because I think I've been coming to this camp for like right at 10 years, like as a camper and staff. And so
12 years.
Oh, well, it's 12 years.
So,
because we've been, well, I guess I would probably been a year or two before.
Probably more. Yeah, my first year was as Webelos, which you didn't come to.
Right.
So.
But I went to like Cub camps and stuff here.
Right.
So
but you skipped Webelos. Yep. And I was all alone.
Good. You probably enjoyed that. So this week was Community Week, which was a lot of fun.
It was indeed. It definitely it ran a lot smoother than it did last year.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Like I've said multiple times in the past, I think this is the time that we have the biggest impact on youth because, the scouting program, it takes you outdoors, like constantly. But the places these people are in, the Boys and Girls Club and different churches and stuff, a lot of these kids have never been able to be outdoors and be out fishing and shooting bows and arrows. Well, I guess the same thing. Shooting bows.
Oh, I thought you were saying fishing and shooting bow and arrow were the same thing.
No.
No, not really.
And I said shooting bows and then shooting arrows.
Right. You don't shoot the bows. You shoot the arrows with the bows.
But this is stuff that they've never got to experience before.
Yeah.
And so I think that's a cool factor of that.
It definitely is. It definitely is. You also have some of them that are like more scared of bugs than they need to be because they're not used to them. And so you got to kind of help them through that.
That's true.
Especially when you're in insect study.
So what did you do all week? Because you helped with them.
Kind of. That was more of my catch up on mowing week.
Okay. But you were at the pool some, and then because where you had that background in aquatics, you were there helping with lifeguarding.
Off and on whenever they needed an extra guard. Since after BSA ended, we had a lot of the younger staff go home, and then a bunch decided that they were going to go to Jamboree.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's going on
That's
this
true.
Because
it's sometime.
Yeah, it started Community Week, and then it'll go all the way through this next week of stuff.
Right. Whatever time it is right now, I don't even know. But yeah, my brother's there and some other people.
My brother's not. So I don't have one.
Oh my goodness.
Your brother came down for Community Week campfire, didn't they? Or was that? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
I believe so.
Because it really confused me. Listen, I've known Jacob and Caleb for a while now, like we just discussed. And every time I see them, I'm like, Caleb got a haircut? Because Jacob's like, nice haircut. I'm not saying that yours is not a nice haircut. He's got like a nice haircut.
He has much shorter hair than Caleb does. Yeah.
That's a bad description instead of saying that.
Shorter hair, but a bigger beard.
Right. Yeah.
They're inverses of each other.
But it always confuses me. And then I realize that it's Jacob because there's normally a small kid following.
Yeah, the one that has a son.
Yeah.
That's Jacob.
So, what else happened Community Week?
Community Week.
There were 2 buses here. I remember that.
Yeah.
We loaded the buses, which was an experience all in itself.
Well, we unloaded them first, and then we loaded them.
Yeah.
Not like we didn't just not at the same time. Yeah, no, we
threw the buses out and the stuff out of the bus, and then we put it back in.
Yep. No. On Sunday, we unloaded the kids' stuff off of the buses, and then we put them back on
Friday.
On Friday, yeah. That's how that worked.
That's true. And we had a campfire, which was cool.
Yeah, it was. Although the sound didn't work very well because Hayden broke it.
I plead the fifth. Okay. I think that someone else messed with it while I was there. And broke it. But in my defense, Earl has fixed it. So
in your defense, someone else fixed it.
Yep.
So.
Isn't that usually how it goes?
Yeah, it is.
For me or for other people?
Just in general.
Yeah, that's true.
Everyone else always fixing Hayden's messes.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It's the story of camp.
Yeah, it's the story of the Ranger life. Someone else breaks something and they call Caleb.
Caleb, what's your favorite thing that you've had to fix because of Hayden?
Because of Hayden, I can't tell you. Because there's been so
too many.
There's been other things that I've had to go fix.
So what has been your favorite thing? Like, if I know, like, getting a call to plunge a toilet is not fun, but like,
if you had to pick something right now for someone to have broken and you have to go fix it,
one of the more fun things was one of the rental carts that we've had all summer. The one that JD drives around.
Oh yeah.
I got a report that it was being slow going up hills, and then it just one night just all but stopped. So I take a look at it, and the throttle cable's loose. I'm like, okay, I'll tighten it up. Well, apparently something else had been wrong with it, and that fixed that problem. So now it's just unbelievably fast.
Yeah, the whole time it was going like 1 mile an hour.
Yeah,
like
but
all summer.
Now it goes like a million.
Yeah, now it goes like 5 miles an hour, and it's.
I think it's gone from inconveniently slow to dangerously fast.
Well, no, you just got to know how to drive. You don't full throttle it when you get on there.
Of course.
Come on.
But like, I mean, I don't know. I'm not gonna name any names, but not everyone is the safest of drivers. So I don't know.
Listen, everyone here has been golf cart certified.
That is true.
And is safe.
That is true.
So, but yeah, no, that one was definitely fun because I remember the first time that JD got in it, and because like when he got in it previously, he would like put his foot down, and you would like
right
crawl
because
forward.
at that point you could put pedal to the metal and it would still be going 2 miles an hour.
You get the normal spin up of
Yeah.
And then it'd start going.
This time he got on it, and Caleb was like, "I fixed it, but be careful, it goes a little faster." And he put his foot down, and he just like took off. He was like, "Oh gosh,
yeah,
it does go a little faster." But yeah.
He's figured it out now. He's been able to adjust. He's that skilled.
Ever since then, JD's not been late. He has been on time everywhere he goes.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
I just want to point out, Caleb is the first guest to put ice in his drink. And I think that says something about you, Caleb. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, we're 2 ice haters.
That's true. I never put ice in my drink, but something about it does make you look cultured in a way. I don't know.
I don't think anybody would have known.
Well, yeah, you can't see it.
What are you drinking?
Ginger ale.
Ugh, oh, that's gross.
I like ginger ale.
I hate ginger ale.
Well,
I don't know if you could tell by my response.
I'm drinking another Dr. Pepper cream soda. I've been waiting all day to drink this because I wanted one earlier, and I was like, no, I'm going to wait until the podcast because I shouldn't drink too much soda in one day.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I can't tell you what I'm drinking. It's a Mountain Dew flavor of some sort. It's purple. Almost the same color purple as the shirts. I would show you, but I'd dump it everywhere. So I'm not doing that.
Dump it on my shirt and see if it changes color.
So previously, before this, like literally just before this episode, we were working on the radios, like because we're trying to put in a repeater. That's what it is. Yeah,
a repeater system.
A repeater, and
that sounds boring.
Me and Zeph were sitting on, like, with Earl, and I was sitting with Mike, and we were just sitting there having a conversation back and forth. And what was the word?
I don't know. Google.
Yeah.
I don't know. Hayden said Zeph can't spell blank. I don't know what it was. He said some ridiculous, silly word that's not a real word, as far as I know.
It's a real word.
Okay.
And he couldn't spell it, and I was right. And so that's the point I was getting to. I was right. Zeph was wrong.
Sure. So. You can spell the word that you made out better than I can. Good job.
But yeah. So what has been your, like, so at camp, you stay here literally all the time. Oh, that's part of your job. I think that's your job description, all the time.
As a ranger.
So what has been your favorite thing to do, or something that you've been involved with to do here at camp, like outside of summer camp?
Working on cowboy action. That was a very interesting feat to get done in that amount of time.
Yeah, that's true. This is the first time we've got to interview somebody who's worked on that. And, I mean, I put 2 nails in. I don't know anything.
You did more than 2 nails.
No, I cut a board.
Oh.
But I literally only put 2 nails in. I might have painted once. Anyways, that's besides the point.
He actually built the whole thing himself. He was just being humble.
Yeah. No, I'm joking. I could not do that. But, and it's not even done. You guys were literally working on it Wednesday.
Oh, wait, what? What else is there?
There's a whole other thing.
There's going to be a back porch or the center port part of it, just above where the ramp is, and then eventually we're going to be adding in some skeet launchers.
Yeah, and a grill and a lounge. I'm joking.
Oh, good grief!
But yeah, so like, because I came down and I watched you all work on it a couple times, which was fascinating, and like you and Jerry and Dale seem to be a machine. I was gonna say well oiled, but sometimes there's like a little like slack because they like make fun of each other. But
what?
Yeah, you get it. It was a joke. I'm tired. Okay. It was a well oiled machine. But it's funny how fast you. I mean, it's like it's crazy.
How fast they can work.
Yeah.
Dale was mainly the brains. I'm the hard labor. Jerry was the gopher.
Yeah.
Gopher.
Yeah. Dale would sit there and like do measurements and like sprout it, just like say it. And then Jerry would like walk over to Caleb and hand him a board and Caleb would like nail it up. And it was just this big like.
Okay, when you said Jerry was the gopher, I'm imagining he's just over on the side digging holes somewhere.
No,
you guys have fun.
Go for this.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Like
word of the day. Gopher.
Gopher quartermaster. Or ranger.
Except he says quartermaster go or speedwagon go because that's his call sign. Jerry's Speedwagon and Caleb is Blue Wolf.
Which is funny right now. I'm glad we caught him at a prime opportunity because your hair is blue. Oh. Kind of. And so, like, the undercut, I assume, is what you call it.
Yeah, just in the back. I don't know if anyone can see it on the YouTube.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
It's kind of washing out at this point.
Yeah, but we'll get it redone eventually.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
But it's funny because he's the Blue Wolf. What was the inspiration behind that call sign?
Mainly the camp truck that I drive, and then one of my aliases online. The last part of it's Wolf.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Your gamer tag.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the longest time, there's been this joke that Caleb's going to go feral.
Because he's a wolf?
Yeah, no, I like to imagine. Well, I always like to imagine that Caleb was going to be like a deer or something and just like prancing about, but like an attack deer. So,
Cat deer.
yeah, I still think that'd be cool. You got all summer, and at other times you should start training deer.
Yeah, you can finally get Hayden's prank.
Yeah, that'd be hilarious.
Put a deer in someone's cabin.
Yeah. And train it to talk.
Yeah.
That sounds
All you gotta do is train it to say hello.
That's it.
Just put a
and maybe someone's name.
Voice box underneath it.
But you gotta get it to move its mouth. Yeah.
Right.
We were sitting up at the rifle range, and for Christmas in July, Langley got me a deer call. Okay, and so there were 2 deer on the range the other day, and we were working on it, so we weren't like shooting or anything. And I was like, "Oh, I've got the deer call in the truck." So me and Clayton like slowly sneak back and pull out this deer call, and I'm like, "This is gonna be amazing." And I go and I do it, and they both run away. And I was like, "Well, that was terrible."
You know, someone a long time ago gave me a fox whistle that you're supposed to be able to blow, and it'll get a fox's attention. They'll look at you or whatever. I don't know. I never got to find out because I never saw a fox. For years, I would bring it with me on every camp out we went to, just hoping that one day I would see a fox and blow this whistle and it would look at me.
It's probably just like a dog whistle.
It never happened. I mean, probably.
Yeah. You know, dogs react to like high pitched.
Well, yeah. Well, no, it's not even like one of those things that like humans can't hear or anything. It's like it makes a noise that you can. It makes like a silly. It sounds like a silly like party horn or something. It's like it's like.
I think if you blew that to anybody, they'd look at you. It's a human whistle too.
Probably means all the humans are secretly foxes.
Yep. It's like the song. What does the fox say?
It says. No, I don't know where it is now. I've stopped bringing it places. Sad. I should try to find it again.
Yeah, watch. You're gonna see a fox one day, and
yeah,
you're not
I won't have it, and I'll
Scout is prepared
for anything.
Do you have any cool animal calls?
No.
Well, that's sad.
Make your best animal sound.
Weird animal experiences up at the cabin. I know there's a rumor that you have ghost coyotes up there. Have you had any experiences with ghost coyotes?
No.
Okay. So Caleb now lives in one of the 2 like middle cabins on the road in like the main road. I don't know how to describe where those are.
It's Scout Camp Road.
Yeah.
But your road has a name.
Yeah, Charlie Sheen or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, lives in one of those cabins. The 2 rangers live in the 2 cabins.
But you've not had like when people stayed there pre you. I know you know this because you're like old. And there was rumors that there were ghost coyotes or some kind of ghost activity there. No ghost stories from the cabin.
None so far.
So well, tonight we're talking about.
Now that you're talking about it, I'll get back to the cabin and something's going to fly off.
The whole cabin will be gone.
It's gone.
It'll be impressive. Ultimate prank. Moving Caleb's cabin.
There's just the whole cabin's gone. In its place is just a note that says,
"Got him."
Yeah. LOL. Love ghost.
Can ghosts write with pens?
I don't know.
Probably not.
People think so.
Maybe.
It's true. Depends on what kind of. What we should get Strange Appalachia on the case.
What kind of pen?
A ghost pen.
Yeah.
I think we get on into it.
Into
the fun part.
The fun part.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Actually, wait. There was something else I wanted to say about the campfire, but I forgot to. But when we did the campfire for Community Week, because a lot of our staff is gone, right. So we did a lot of the same skits because it's what we've been doing. We had them prepared and everything, but we had to fill in some of those roles from the people that have left. So I got to take over both of my brother's roles in the skit.
Oh yeah, that's true.
In the skits, and I texted him and told him, "I'm doing both of your campfire roles," and he said, "You can try," and I said, "I will," and. I don't know. I think
I recorded your version of the first one that you did of his second skit, the fishing skit.
Yeah.
And I think it was pretty good.
Okay.
I didn't record when you did it last night for the Cubs.
Right. Well,
but I think
we
that
don't
was.
talk about that.
I think that was a much better one. Just saying.
Okay. I think so too.
Yeah.
Although both times, I actually just today was talking to Ethan and realized that both times I forgot to say that it was against the law to fish in the lake, and so I was just interrogating him about nothing. But I feel like I got the point across.
Nope, I had no clue. So, also, speaking of campfire, Clayton, gosh darn, Caleb is the world's famous animal caller at campfire. When we do the camp owner skit, you sometimes here at Camp Davy Crockett, late at night, you can hear the animals call for their mothers.
Hey, Ma!
He usually does it a little bit louder than that.
Yeah. But it's amazing. I've always loved that, and it's been great.
That's true. Everyone says that it's the funniest thing of all time.
Yep, someone said it, sure.
Maybe. Anyway. Caleb, who are you?
Well, he gets to do the word of the day.
What's the word of the day?
Yeah, you get to decide if you want to do the joke first or the word first.
Do the joke first.
Oh, okay.
Are you ready to laugh, Hayden?
I'm thrilled.
I'm very ready. I think that Elsa and Olaf are also ready. My props are still here, but they'll be here for forever.
So, what's the difference between a piano, a tuna, and a bucket of glue?
I feel like I've heard half of this, but it's like a longer
I've got it. I know, but I'm not going to say it. I'll let you finish the punchline.
Okay. What is it, Caleb?
You can tuna a piano, but you can't piano a tuna.
Right. Okay. No. Oh, I remember the rest of it now. Okay, what about the glue?
I knew you'd get stuck on that one.
When you didn't say the rest of it, I remember what it was. Oh my goodness.
That's probably one of my most favorite jokes because most people forget about the bucket of glue.
Right.
And they start to go on. I'm just like, but you forgot something.
Wait, it's not done. Yeah, you gotta push them together.
Keep going.
Wait. That's a good one though. It's a classic.
Yeah, not as good as the Cinderella one.
You don't need to bring that up every time, okay? We moved on. We're past it.
Nope, I think for the rest of the podcast history, every joke will be followed up by the Cinderella joke. So, I'm excited for the word of the day.
Yeah.
Caleb has an extensive vocabulary of words.
Gopher.
Gopher. No.
Or Googameyer, or whatever you were saying.
Googamungus.
Googamungus, that was it.
Yeah.
That was the word he asked me to spell. I know my words, okay? You didn't know it earlier. Googamungus. How do you spell it, Hayden?
Word of the day, Caleb.
Okay.
Illustrious.
Illustrious. Okay.
Notably or brilliantly outstanding.
Also me. So, use it in a sentence. It's a hard question.
That gem is illustrious.
What gem? Where? What? Okay. Oh, it's an example sentence. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought he saw a real illustrious gem.
Well, see, for some reason,
so excited
when he said gym, I thought he meant like a place you go work out at. And I was like, okay.
But I mean, hey, they've got really high end equipment. You know,
it's illustrious.
You pay $1 million a month.
Some places you probably do.
That's true. Okay.
Maybe.
Do they have any more chances to get the patch? I guess Cub Weeks.
The Camp Davy Chronicles patch. I guess so. We haven't really talked about it on the main podcast very much, but we did not get rid of them all. So
you can still use that as in a sentence if you want, and when you come here for Cub Weeks or for Cub Weeks
for Weebelow's weekend. When this goes up, that'll be the only thing left. Yeah. So, man, we're getting to the end of the summer here.
It's true. It's sad.
It's the twilight of the summer camp season.
Yep, but not Twilight Camp. Don't get confused.
That's oh man. He poured himself more ginger ale. He has a 2-liter down below the table.
I came prepared.
He did.
So would you say that you like ginger ale as much as I like milk?
No. Oh, him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not you.
No. I've got other drinks that I'd prefer over ginger ale, but
that's what you had in the fridge.
It was the first bottle that was in the fridge.
Ah, okay. Yeah, last time I was up there when you cooked chicken Alfredo. Yeah, that was good stuff. You did not have milk, and I was disappointed.
Oh.
That's because it was camp season. It's not going to keep well during the camp season. I'm not going to use it as much.
You don't drink milk that often? Man.
So that was during this summer camp season?
No, it was last year.
Okay. Because I remember being up at Caleb's house and eating chicken alfredo at some point.
It was two separate occasions.
Okay.
Neither one was involved in milk.
Okay.
Which was sad.
Is that the only thing you cook, or is it? Okay.
There's a couple of things.
He worked dining hall for like 17 million years.
That's true.
Did you actually learn like how to cook at dining hall?
Yeah. Did you ever? Okay, that's a great question. Did you ever make the food when you worked at dining hall?
Hot dogs and hamburgers on Thursday night.
Because I think, yep.
Out on the grill.
Mm-hmm.
Those are good stuff.
I'd go in an hour early.
Wow, that's dedication. That was definitely one of the best meals at the old dining hall.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you cooked?
Chicken Alfredo.
I helped with occasionally on some of the different meals, like back when we had meatloaf all the time.
Oh, Pop-Tart's favorite.
Yeah, that's the scary stuff.
Well, back then it wasn't as good as it was the last time we had it.
Yeah, I tell you what, this summer I've had like stuff that I don't like just personally.
Right.
But I don't think I've had bad food from the dining hall that I would be like, oh, this is awful.
Yeah.
In a long time. Now, obviously, there's stuff that I've been like, ugh, just because I don't personally like it.
Right.
But it's all been good. It's been great.
Yeah.
Right. And the meatloaf, oh my gosh. We had meatloaf during Community Week.
Yeah.
The Monday, I think. And
I remember.
That was good stuff. I thoroughly enjoyed that.
I think it was a different recipe.
Yeah,
I would think so. I never had the meatloaf at the old dining hall, but if the legends are true, then I think this one was a lot better.
I remember it, and it was not good. Not as good as it was last Monday.
Yeah.
Which was great.
In the old dining hall, that would decide what my night off was. That's all you get away from it. I remember one of those nights it was my night off, and I just left, and the power went out.
Gosh.
So then you just ran away faster.
Yeah, because he's like, they're calling me back. I got to get as far as I can.
Because I was going to have to wash dishes by hand, and I was not about to do that.
Oh, man.
Oh, gosh. That would be, oh, my goodness.
Because back then, we didn't have a dishwasher for the...
Oh, really? Whoa.
For the what?
The dining complex.
What?
We had a sanitizer. There's a difference.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So you washed everything? Oh, yeah. I remember helping with that.
We could bring the silverware and cups to the sanitizer, and that'd be fine.
Right.
But everything else...
Yeah, because we used styrofoam plates back then.
Right.
It was all styrofoam.
Yeah. But like all the big pans and stuff that you cooked with, you had to wash those by hand. I remember that now.
Yeah.
I don't think I would have remembered that if you wouldn't have said it, but I remember that.
It's ingrained in my memory. 100 degrees in the kitchen and washing pans.
Oh, boy. Fun times.
Just for a special set of people.
Absolutely.
Which is not me.
Caleb, and that's all.
And actually, I was in those 8 years, I was the only returning person for that period of time.
Yeah.
On dining hall staff?
Yeah, my first 4 years actually were different groups of people that worked with me.
What about Daniel and Bradley?
That was after the 4 years.
Okay, but I thought you said like during the whole time there was no one returning.
No, that's not what he said.
Okay.
He said he was the only member that returned for that long.
Oh, for that long? Yeah. Well, yeah, okay. I mean, obviously it was like forever, so. Yeah. Caleb, what do you want to be when you grow up? If you grow up.
If I grow up more than what I am now?
Yeah.
No. Never going to happen.
My original dream was to be a game designer. Create the characters that you play in a game or the worlds.
Yeah.
So you're a pretty good drawer.
That's true.
I forgot that.
Yeah.
Because you've not drawn in a while. In front of people.
In front of you, personally. Yeah. I don't know. What's the last time that you drew in front of Hayden?
Probably when we were in the old dining hall, actually.
Yeah. Okay. That's where I remember like walking in and being like...
Because... we used to have an old chalkboard menu board.
Yeah, and you would draw a figure.
And on the back of it, I'd just draw a character on it.
That was cool. I remember that as a camper, seeing the written menu on the chalkboard thing. Now I knew what we were gonna eat. Now I never know anymore because Hayden won't put up the graphics he always promises he'll put
So Caleb,
on the screens.
we talked about your positions here at camp, but how many years have you been? We talked about that. We're going on. How many years have you been in scouting? And when did you start scouting? Like, where did you come straight into Boy Scouts, or did you go from like Cub Scouts? Or
I started in Cubs, but our pack folded.
Okay.
So I cannot tell you exactly when that was.
I mean, I assume when you were younger.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he was a Cub Scout age.
You know what rank Cub Scout?
Nope.
Okay. So you guys folded, and then you went into the troop.
Yep.
So we'll say that you were 12, 13-ish when you came to the troop.
Yep.
So you are 26 now.
25.
25 now. And so 13 minus 26 would be
13 minus 26?
26 minus 13.
13.
13. So you were in Scouts for 13 years. That don't make sense.
No, it doesn't. That's how long he's been on staff.
Yeah.
See, I wasn't following anything you were saying until you got to 13 minus 26, and I was like, "Wait,
you're like that's wrong."
I just wasn't even paying attention, and then you got there, and I was like, "Somewhere you messed up," but I don't know what you said, so I can't tell you where.
It's probably close to 15.
Okay.
Yeah.
Somewhere in that time frame.
What troop were you in?
Troop 1 out of Abingdon, Virginia.
The first troop ever? Wow. That's so crazy.
No, probably not.
Okay.
I think there'd be other rights to that name.
Yeah. I wonder who the first troop ever was.
Someone in
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, probably.
And you got your Eagle.
Nope.
Oh. Did your brother get his Eagle?
No. I think we both made it to first class.
Gosh, you guys are terrible. I'm joking.
No, but a lot of the adult leaders in our troop said that we should have got Eagle because we helped every other Eagle Scout in the troop get their Eagle.
Yeah, seems rigged.
You just didn't want to do the paperwork.
No, we got lazy on merit badges, but helped them with all their projects and other stuff.
Too helpful for your own good. Okay. What's your favorite campsite and your favorite shelter on Camp Davy Crockett property?
My favorite campsite? The campsite my troop went to when I was a camper, what used to be called Lower Fox, which is now just Fox.
Wait. No.
Yeah, Upper Fox is Coyote and Lower Fox is Fox.
Sure.
Yeah, that's the first one I stayed in too, is at Weeblos.
Really?
Yeah.
I stayed in Bobcat as my first ever campsite here. And then Mountain Lion was the home of Hayden.
Yep. Absolutely. What about the shelter?
And it can't be your cabin.
Program shelter. I just want to rule out the wood cutting thing or whatever else there is.
The sawmill.
Yeah, the sawmill.
The sawmill doesn't really count as a shelter.
It's got a roof. Kind of.
What do you mean kind of? It either has a roof or it doesn't have a roof.
It's not a program shelter.
Right. Yeah. That's why I said, never mind. What's your favorite program shelter?
Probably first year because it's not too far away, but it's also secluded.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true.
It is a perfect shelter. It is in the middle of a bunch of trees, and so it blocks out kind of the noise around you, unless there's a bunch of kids there. And then it's cool because you're in the middle of a bunch of trees, and so you got shade.
But you're also just not too far from the lake, so you do get a break.
Right, exactly.
And you can hear them from the pool.
Yeah.
If they yell out.
It's the other way around. You can hear first year from the pool.
Right. You can
or Eagle Bound.
Yeah. That's a fact. I remember working on Eagle Bound staff. And
yelling buddy check.
And so our agreement was that if we yelled buddy check and they could hear us, they would do a buddy check. And so every time we would sit up there and we would be open tote and chip or whatever, and we'd get bored because nobody showed up for it. And so we would sit there and we would all scream it every 5 seconds. And every time they would do a buddy check.
I remember We asked Madison about this when we had her on, and we asked her if she would do a buddy check if we yelled it at her randomly. And I've been meaning to, but never did because I was always doing something else.
But we got tomorrow.
That's true. We could try it. See if she remembers.
Yep. I mean, if we say it loud enough, they've got to do it.
Yeah.
Because everybody will start buddying up.
Oh, boy.
Did they do buddy checks in the lake?
No, we don't do swimming in the lake.
Right. But what if they get lost, Caleb?
If the lifeguards cannot keep track of all the boats, then there's a problem.
Well...
that didn't seem very confident.
There is a skill level that the scouts don't have that they can't get too far.
That's
okay.
That's
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But by the time they get that far, they've already been noticed.
You're right. That makes sense.
Come back.
You're
no way.
No, stop. Come back. Oh, no, they didn't hear me.
Pretty sure they would actually be a little bit better than that.
Once they get hungry enough, they'll come back.
They've been out for like 5 minutes. Oh, I'm starving. I've got to come back.
Well, you'd get like sweaty and dehydrated first. I remember when I would go out during the open boating, I'd be out for like 20 minutes and be like, I am about to die of thirst. I'm going to go back.
There's water all around.
To be fair, the start of the last open boat of the day is the worst part.
That's true. The 4 to 5 is a very hot time of day.
Yeah.
So not the greatest time for going out on the lake for an hour.
Yeah, and the lifeguards don't get to like get in the lake because they're swimming in the lake, and so they're just sitting there. It's hot. They're crying.
But open boating is still a fun activity. I preferred that over open swim.
I never went to open anything. I think I went open swimming a couple times, but I never went open boating. Boats scared me when I was little.
Oh, well.
I was afraid you were going to blow your wolf whistle and it was going to a fox whistle and this one was going to come swimming across the lake and attack us. It's like when I think of a deer call, we're back to this. When I think of a deer call, I think of something like you do it and like 400 deer just walk out and they're like, what's up?
Well, that's kind of how they do it on cartoons, you know?
Yeah, but that's not how it works.
Really?
I learned that.
Now I'm just remembering there's this moment in Phineas and Ferb where Perry the Platypus is stuck and he has like a whole case of animal whistles and he pulls out a whale whistle by accident and he blows it and a whale just bursts through the roof.
That's what I imagined would happen. Not what happened.
You just
I still have the list.
You do have the list.
I was like, why aren't we moving on?
Why aren't we moving on, Hayden?
Oh, in the famous words of me, this is going to be interesting. What is your biggest, or what are some of your pet peeves?
What really peeves your pet?
I was trying to think. Catherine.
What?
Nope.
Susie?
Susie, that's the one.
He does have a pet named Susie. We interviewed her on the Camp David Chronicles YouTube channel. You can see her interview.
Yeah.
She had great insight into camp.
That's true. How does it feel that we interviewed your dog before you? Anyways, biggest pet peeves. Don't break stuff around camp.
Hayden.
Keep the boats clean.
Oh. Okay.
Wait, so it bothers you when people keep the boats clean?
No, when they don't keep them clean.
Okay.
Oh, I've had a question about... Okay, keep explaining. I've got a question about that.
Because every Saturday before lakefront leaves, they're supposed to clean the boats.
Right.
Well, going out there sometimes, they're not as clean as what they should be.
Yeah. Okay. So, for years, I've heard this, that on Saturday, instead of makeups, you go out there and you clean the boats.
Friday.
On Fridays, I've always heard this, right? Okay.
For the motor.
And I always imagined that there was some scuba diver out there scrubbing the bottom of the pontoon, okay, right? When you say clean the boats, you mean the canoes and stuff, right?
No,
the motorboats.
Well, so how does that work?
You hose off any mud and sand that gets inside the boat in the cockpit.
Right. That's it?
That's basically it.
Okay, because I imagine these kids out there with toothbrushes scrubbing this thing down.
No, when I was on lakefront, that's actually what we did. We'd get brushes and hop in the water and scrub the gunk that forms on the side at the end of the week.
Right.
Okay,
that's
so
not what the Scouts did.
Right.
Well, I feel like I remember. I have a very vague memory from when I took the motorboating merit badge class. I remember going there to do it, and I remember there being soap on the outside of the boat and scrubbing it, but I don't remember what we were scrubbing it with. And we definitely weren't like in the lake doing it. I feel like that would have been what the lifeguards
Have
did.
like a pole and a
But,
something.
Yeah,
Yeah, the 300-foot.
But it was
broom
basically like watching a car, except it was a boat.
Imagine that. Do they make boat like washes that you can drive through? Okay, because I was about to say that.
No, I don't think so.
It seems like an untapped market.
That would be interesting, wouldn't it?
Actually,
Yeah.
when Caleb just immediately nodded, I was like, "Really? Where? I want to see this."
Because we need to go. I think that we should build this.
Yeah, Camp Davy Crockett exclusive.
Boat wash.
We'll do it off of the new floating dock that'll be done by the dining hall.
Amazing.
Yes.
You heard it here first. Absolutely confirmed. This will be happening.
But no, this is revolutionary.
If some rich person is watching or listening and wants to fund this,
Yeah,
do it.
that's true. With $250,000, we can put 2 staff members out there scrubbing boats for 24 hours.
You drive through very slowly while they scrub.
But no, I think this would be genius. I'm just like,
Like a dry dock on wheels, and it just rolls the boat through.
Yeah.
Pressure washes.
well, no, I just imagine it stays in the water and there's just like water.
Wow.
Like spray, like pressure
Amazing.
washers, right? That are like really high powered, but just like, so that way you're not getting like pelted in the face with the water as you drive through.
No, I'll see it like you pull into like a marina,
Yeah.
and then you get off and you watch it go through the boat
That'd
wash.
be cool. That seems expensive.
Yeah. For $50 million.
Yep.
We'll do this. Okay. What embarrasses you, Caleb? Other than being on podcasts.
Talking in front of people.
Yeah. Or dealing with Cheryl.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
that just embarrasses you.
Man,
She has the way of bringing it out of people to embarrass them. I
That's
think.
true.
Yeah.
she's good at embarrassing people. Sometimes, I don't know.
There's been
that could be a gift or a curse. You never know.
Yeah, because sometimes you don't want to be embarrassed.
Well, you usually don't want to be embarrassed.
You learn to just not care.
That's true. Sometimes you need it.
Yeah. So what embarrasses you other than that? Do you have like a funny story from this one time when you were 8 and you were like in front of the entire school and you got embarrassed?
This is oddly specific, Hayden. Do you want to tell us something? Okay.
Okay.
Next question.
I just wanted to make sure there wasn't anything
He
there.
gave us an answer.
Trading Post snack. What is your favorite Trading Post snack and drink?
Oh, drink.
Hmm.
Ginger ale. They actually have sold ginger ale.
Really?
Yeah, recently, like the last couple weeks, they had some.
Some of the Crockett Creek jerky and cotton candy mermaid slush.
Both good
Wow.
options. Yeah. Okay. Do you know specifically what kind of Crockett Creek jerky? Or just any of them?
Just any of them.
Okay. Because we had a couple I think we had somebody say that last time, and I think they said steakhouse. I like teriyaki.
I know Tanner mentioned
Teriyaki's a
jerky.
good choice.
Yeah, that's my favorite. It's got a little spice to it, but it's good.
I've heard they're good, but I've never tried them because they're expensive.
Yeah.
It's just $7.
Jerky is expensive.
Oh,
Like in general.
right.
It's
right.
better than going to Walmart and buying half of what's in that bag, the same size bag, for $5.
That's true. They do pack a lot more jerky into those bags than the
Okay.
Walmart bags,
Okay,
like that
fair.
you would get like Jack Links.
Yeah, I had no idea what Caleb was saying until you. Okay, I think that makes sense. Caleb, if you could have one superpower, what superpower would you want
Shapeshift.
to have?
Oh, that'd be good. He would just be a wolf all the time.
It could be anything.
Gone feral.
Could you like shapeshift, like not just into like animals and stuff? Like you could be a chair.
No,
You could be like-
not inanimate objects.
Okay.
So just like
Because that'd be
animate
too too far.
Okay.
It's
Because
like,
I was thinking you'd just be like a random pencil or something, and like no one would know you're in the room. You can
Yeah, it's
spy
like
on.
prop hunt in real life.
Oh Lord. As funny as that would be, being able to do like a mouse or a snake, wolf, or just turn into a different person.
Yeah, see,
gosh. Yeah, see, that would be scary.
Oh,
you could impersonate a different person.
You could be like a fly, though, and do the same thing as the pencil.
That's true. You could spy as a fly.
Except
rhymes.
okay.
What?
You become a fly, right? You fly into somebody and someone just smashes you. Do you die or do you just become you? Like on the it's like, what just happened?
I don't know. See, Hayden always tries to find the weaknesses.
Yeah, see, we need to be careful for flies now on. There might be people.
They might be Caleb. Speaking of flies, fly over to the next question.
Okay. What is your favorite class that you have taken as a camper here?
And the second part is...
Yeah, well, I wasn't there yet.
Okay.
Mountain biking.
Mountain biking. Okay, so you got to take it pre its absence here.
Yeah.
The year before it was taken out was the year I had.
And then it got put back like 2 years ago?
No.
Yeah.
No.
It got brought back.
No, we didn't.
Well,
it was brought back as cycling.
Well, the merit badge is cycling.
Oh, yeah, I get what you're saying. Okay.
Was that two different classes, or was it just... So mountain biking wasn't even a merit badge. It was just like an activity class, or... I don't think there's a mountain biking merit badge.
Yeah. I know there's a mountain biking section of cycling.
Right.
That's like option like 1B, ASR, 2.
Yeah. I don't know.
Because
we use the mountain bikes to their actual potential.
Right, yeah.
Right. Okay. Interesting. I bet that was fun.
I bet you it was,
apparently, because it was your favorite class. What about classes that you've taught here?
Yeah, what is your favorite class that you have taught?
Sailing.
Sailing's a fun class.
I imagine so. I never did it.
I have witnessed people sail before. I would never... It goes back to that whole thing, boats scare me. As like when I was little. Not as much now. I think it's the water under the boats that scare me the most.
Because I asked about what he's taught.
Okay.
So.
Well, Caleb, I'm sure you're shocked that I'm going to ask you a question. What is your favorite or one of your favorite camp stories? And you can tell multiple. You don't have to narrow it down to just one that way in case you have 30.
I mean, we also don't have that much time.
I think this is before your time, but back when we were all in old staff camp, you've heard of the Coon Wars, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I think Pop-Tart told us about it.
Yeah, and the Raccoon Mafia, of course.
Well, one night, me and Jacob are walking to his tent. We open up the flaps, and
Jacob, your twin brother.
Yes.
For the listeners who might have forgotten about that.
We open up the tent flaps, and all of a sudden, chocolate powder dust goes flying everywhere. And the coon starts bouncing around the inside of his tent.
So this was back when it was just tents, right?
Yeah, this is back when it was just tents. And he yells out, "Coon!" You look down, each of those tent flaps fly open, and out pops staff members with some form or fashion of blunt object and look in both directions for the coon. And then it's a mad chase for this poor little, youngling coon for about 5 minutes until he takes off into the woods.
Yeah, what's funny is inevitably the raccoon is always faster. For some reason, probably it's because they're getting chased. But
and it just ate, all the chocolate powder.
Yeah, it's it's zooming. I can imagine that. Yeah, that's one of my time. I only got to stay in staff camp once, and that was for a week.
In Gray Squirrel.
Yeah. And
I think it was 2 weeks.
It might have been 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And
we moved to Staff Village week 1 of 2018.
Oh, yeah.
So we had that. I guess it would have been a week and a half.
Yeah.
I was actually the first person to move into Staff Village when it was built.
Yeah, that's cool.
It is cool.
That sounded really...
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Whatever.
Yeah.
that didn't make sense.
The Saturday after they finished it, Freddie actually texted me and said, "You all are good to move in," and me and Jacob moved into cabin 8.
Well, that's because you guys cheated and stayed here. So you guys, because you and Caleb both stayed because you live so far away.
This is Caleb.
Oh, my God.
So Jacob, what? Man, we should get him.
Man, we should have had him here. We could have switched him in the middle of the episode and see if anybody noticed. But yeah, so you guys got to do that. It's cool.
Yeah.
I got to take the first shower at Staff Lodge. It was really cold because there was no hot water.
Good for you. So, Caleb, your question from our previous guest, Cindy Batten. She asked, what book on your shelf is begging to be read? Or if you don't have one on a bookshelf that you haven't read, then like anywhere, library or whatever. What book do you want to read? I don't know.
Glad we got somebody who kind of reads.
Yeah.
This could have been a weird question for somebody who doesn't read.
Although I will say, for someone who does read, this is actually a harder question than for someone who doesn't.
There's actually a couple books.
Yeah.
We got a couple. I mean, give us some suggestions.
Yeah. Anything.
I have actually one of the Halo books.
Those are newer, aren't they?
No, they're actually older.
Yeah, I tried.
They came out along with the games way back when.
Like,
it was the movie that just came out. That was new. The Halo movie.
TV show.
Close enough.
Okay.
There's a lot.
I knew something was new with Halo.
Yeah, there's a lot of
books,
Halo stuff.
You've got games, and then you've got a animated series.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
That's different short stories.
Right.
And then a mediocre TV show.
Okay.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people
it tries to do its own story, but it's awful.
Right. I've heard a lot of people that talk about the Halo TV show don't like it, like that have had the previous experience with like the games, the books, and so on. Because JD is notoriously a Halo fan, and he also doesn't like
notoriously.
Like
it started
infamously. JD likes Halo.
The TV show started off good, and then it just nosedived, in my opinion.
I think it's one of those things that like people are expecting it to be good, and so they had to they felt like they had a lot of pressure behind it, and so they just dropped the ball.
Maybe. So, I don't know. I haven't seen it.
But it's either that or a fan fiction book that I have.
Oh yeah, fan fictions are always good because they're
always.
Well, okay.
They're either really good enough to where the community behind them will either drop it and then it just dies, or they each start branching off into their own different stories. Right. Which the one I'm thinking of started off from this book, and then there's I've read at least 5 other books in that series.
Because it allows the fans to take a story that they didn't like the ending of and make a whole new, which is, I think, a
or
cool
combining
concept.
2 different worlds into one.
Be anything you want.
I think it's a cool concept.
Yeah. It is. And then the other question that we discussed on the last episode was if we are all secretly part dinosaur because of the water cycle, what dinosaur would you want to be part of you?
Velociraptor.
Okay. That'd be a good one. I think T-Rex. I don't know why. Just because, why not?
Sure. May as well.
So, Caleb, last couple questions. Your favorite color? Out of any color in the entire world?
Cyan.
Cyan. That's a good one. It's a blue.
It's like a light blue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you could be one animal for 24 hours, what would you be?
A velociraptor.
Wolf.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We asked that one earlier.
Yeah, easy answer.
And then, what is your favorite part of camp besides the people during the summer camp season?
Or not. I mean, I don't know.
The quiet.
Oh, so not during the summer camp season.
Yeah. No, even during the summer camp season. Because on the weekends, just after everyone leaves, there's a different type of quiet compared to off-season when you just walk through camp.
Right. There's almost when people leave, it's almost a sad quiet. I mean, it's strange because it's like
either sad or relaxed because all the animals don't have to be as nervous because there's so many people around. Compared to the off season, it's like, oh, there's people here. We're just going to chirp and move around this way.
Right. I don't know. See, for me, it's a sad silence because I always hate to see the people leave. I mean, sometimes I really like them. No, most of the time I'm like, oh, right. Especially like this coming homecoming week where it's our last week, and it's kind of sad.
Yeah.
And so
I will say here toward the ending of the summer camp season, as we get to sort of these smaller programs like the community week and the Cub week, there's not quite as many campers as there were for the Scouts PSA weeks, where we were using every single campsite. And so we already start to see more of the animals coming out and being out there in the fields and whatever. And you'll see more deer and turkeys than you did during the main weeks.
Yeah.
It's always interesting to see the deer become more people friendly-ish.
Yeah.
Throughout the season.
Yeah, it's an interesting, peaceful transition period from the main busyness to the off season.
Because when you start losing campers, they start to show up in fields or next to buildings.
Now we do have we need you to ask a question for our next guest before we forget, before we move on too far. I guess you didn't plan this.
Not that far ahead now.
Okay.
I was more worried about the word of the day and joke of the day.
Those are arguably the most important things.
Probably the most important part of the podcast, to be honest. So if you want to think about that and circle back to it, we can. But it doesn't have to be anything like super serious or anything.
Yeah, it can be funny.
Yeah.
The one of my favorites was what cartoon or what cereal brand mascot would you be?
No, it was your favorite one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Anyway, I do want just to reflect back on Community Week. I remember it feeling very special at the beginning of the week this year, seeing these kids come in and a lot of them being returning from last year and having been here before, which I don't know why, I just hadn't thought about it, but I wasn't expecting to see the same kids back. And so when we were moving them into their campsites, there was one girl going into the cabin and saying, "This is the same room that I was in last year." And she was so excited, and she said that it felt like home. Yeah. And that was very special to me because that's exactly what we want.
Yeah,
every camper who comes here should feel that way.
Right. As soon as one of them got off the bus, and I had the same thought. I thought some of them might return, but I didn't really, And one of them got off the bus, and he was like, "Hey, Hayden." And I was like, and I was able to remember his name.
Right. They remembered the staff too.
And I was like, oh my gosh, that is cool. That maybe I haven't made a huge impact, but I've made a big enough impact to where a year I haven't seen this child.
Yeah.
And he was able to remember my name, and I was able to remember his. So it was cool.
Oh,
and I'm sure my face lit up because I was like, oh, he remembered my name. And then I was able to remember his, which, his face lit up because he was like, oh, he remembers my name. That's cool.
That's awesome.
So if you thought of a question, what's your favorite color of pants?
Trying to think of how to say it.
Okay.
With words.
I was about to say in English, preferably.
Just randomly learn Japanese just to say it.
Just real quick, pause the podcast, take a whole 4-year course in Japanese, and come back and ask the question.
In your favorite book, TV show, or game, would you want to relive the story as the main character?
Ooh, okay.
Or continue the story as yourself?
Like from the ending?
Oh. I like it, okay.
Okay, like in place of the main character? Or just anyone?
As anyone.
In the world?
In the world.
Okay. Be interesting. That's quite a question.
Yeah, I like
your favorite book, TV, just anything, movie. Okay. I don't know.
I like that.
I had to think on that one for a while.
All the games that I thought of were like
Monopoly. No. I want to continue as the hat.
Yep.
Okay.
See how many times you can go around the board and collect.
I would just be broke. So, okay, are we ready for quotes?
I'm ready for quotes.
Okay, can I start off?
You can start off.
Okay.
Now
So let me preface this.
Yeah.
Don't read the name.
I can't read that.
Well, yeah, it's in my handwriting. That's a good point. So to preface this, this is not anyone on my staff, first off. Those are the only people I hang out with. So just not anyone on my staff.
Okay.
And it's also from when the full staff was here.
So it's not from Community Week.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So it's from when the full staff was here. Are you ready for the quote?
Okay.
Now, it's going to seem like I say this wrong, but I'm going to say it right, okay? This is how they said it.
Okay.
oh no, it's the milk police.
That could be anyone.
Well, you got to guess.
It's
and then,
you.
Nope.
No, is it?
You got to guess, and then I'll give you context.
Bill.
No.
Okay.
It's not Bill.
Do you have a guess, Caleb?
I'm trying to think.
Anyone.
Because the only place you'd hear a comment like that would be possibly the dining hall.
Right.
That's a good start.
Good start.
So probably one of the dining hall staff.
Or anyone who eats at the dining hall. Most people. Who's the first staff face that comes to your head when you hear those words? Other than Hayden.
Cypress.
Oh, okay, that was not close.
I'm also thinking second guess.
Okay. No, okay.
You said it wasn't your staff.
Yeah. So, some context, which is not going to give you any hints at all.
Okay.
Just letting you know. We were sitting at the table at the dining hall.
Okay.
Drinking, and I was drinking milk.
Okay.
As I do.
Okay. Good
and
start,
this person was drinking chocolate milk.
Okay.
And I said, hey, you can't drink that. That's the worst kind of milk.
What?
And they said, oh no, it's the milk police.
Hold on.
Because he claimed to be the milk police. And so
okay.
I was the milk police.
Gotcha. Who would claim to be the milk police? I don't know. So, but hold on though. Backtrack a little bit. You were drinking 1% milk, right?
Yeah, well, that's because that's what.
Right. But you are actively drinking 1% milk and saying that chocolate milk is worse.
Chocolate milk is the worst.
It's not worse than 1%.
Yeah, it's the worst kind of milk.
1% is gross.
It's the worst kind of cow milk. Let me specify a little more.
Okay. What about skim milk?
I drink skim milk as well.
Ew. Okay.
It's the worst kind of
if I'm going to drink milk, it's going to be whole milk.
I normally drink 2%. That is my go-to percentage.
Whole milk or 2% is good for me.
Whole milk will make you fat.
Okay.
One more guess. Anybody?
I don't know. Just tell us.
It was your brother, Daniel Wells.
What?
Yes.
No way. I can see it now. I can imagine it perfectly.
And he said it in his Fisher game man voice.
Oh no, it's the milk police.
Yeah, that was pretty much it. That was the context.
Okay, interesting. So I've got a couple that are from people that were here this week. The first one is, I don't trust anyone who calls an SUV a truck.
Oh, I heard this one.
You did?
Yes, no. It was, okay. Hold on.
Do you have a guess, Caleb?
I'm going with...
no idea.
I've got two, so I'm going to go with my first one, which is CJ.
Okay.
And that's wrong, because you said okay.
Yeah, that's wrong.
Okay. So my second guess was Bill.
That's also wrong.
My third guess, though, was Ethan Rose. My fourth guess would have been Jacob.
No.
JD.
No. The context, you'll never guess.
Okay.
Someone referred to their SUV as their truck.
Okay, so it had to
be
be
Clayton. Clayton would call his...
No, it was not someone on staff, actually.
Oh, well, what?
I mean, no. The person who said this was on staff. I mean, someone else. Yeah.
Okay, I thought it was like...
No. It's a random person. Quote. No, the quote is from staff.
Hunter.
No.
Cypress.
No. Are you just going to name all the staff now?
Yeah, there's only like 5
Okay,
here.
that's...
Caleb Miller.
It was Pop-Tart.
Pop-Tart.
Yeah. That's it. You got it. Good job.
I mean, fair?
I
Yeah.
don't think I care.
Right. Well, it was interesting because it was they were saying they were asking if we could take them to their truck in the parking lot.
Right.
And there was only one truck in the area that we were going to, and so he assumed that it was that, but she was like, no, it's that one, and it was like not a truck.
Oh, okay.
And Pop-Tart was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. The other one is, I'm going to name my child Maine.
Like the state?
Like the state.
The city?
Yeah.
The state. Who would name their child Maine? Who knows that Maine exists?
I also don't know the context of this one because someone else told it to me. So I didn't witness this one personally, but I just didn't have enough quotes.
Okay, so it had to be somebody that Ethan Rose was talking to. Because he's the only one that knows we're doing quotes.
He's not the well, yeah, but he's the only one that.
He's the one that told you, right?
Yeah.
See, I've got that down.
Yeah, you got that down.
So it had to have been
one of the people Rose hangs out with.
Yeah. Like, see. I'm trying to think. I never know who's friends with people. No, I never know other people's friends. Okay. Bill. No, he doesn't know Maine exists.
Do you have a guess, Caleb?
Tall Aiden.
I'm just okay.
CJ.
Okay, it was Avery.
Oh,
I could see that.
Okay,
I should have known that.
yeah. Do you have a thought of the day? We're running a little bit long
A
here.
thought of the day?
Yeah.
No.
You don't?
No, I have not thought of this.
Okay.
Walking. Oh, I will tell you this.
Okay.
The other day it was raining.
Yeah. As it
And
does.
I all summer I've not thought of this, but I thought of this or up past thought of the day. What is the optimal walking speed for rain?
Right.
And I
That
thought
was from like a year ago.
right, but I thought that we were doing it wrong. Okay. So
Gosh,
I did some experiments because
Yeah.
it was raining enough that if you walked outside you would get damp, but if you like didn't you would stay dry.
What, you like if you stayed under a roof, you would stay dry. That's how it usually works.
And so me and Clayton stood outside and we were walking at different speeds to see if and so we had this epiphany that if we walked backwards, we wouldn't get as damp. And it turns out that the front of you does not get as damp if you walk backwards.
Wow. Now, never would have guessed that. Amazing.
I also had a conversation with Tanner the other day. And
Yeah.
we were walking to the dining hall, and it was me and Tanner and Shade. And Shade asked, why don't you go forward when you jump? Like, when you jump, why don't you move forward? Because in theory, the earth should spin, and so you should move forward, right? Okay. And Tanner looked at him and goes, well, duh, because when you jump, every force has an equal or opposite reaction, and the earth stops for a split second, and you land again.
And then it keeps rotating.
Yeah. Which I said, well, so if we all jumped, would it just like go backwards? And then he just kept talking. So
this is a quality thought of the day.
If that was the case, then wouldn't, if we got everyone to jump one after the other,
The earth would just completely stay still.
Yeah. See, I've always thought if everybody in the world gets to one spot in the earth and jumps, does the earth move down? Like it just slowly starts moving down? Will you slowly become the closest planet to the sun?
Oh gosh. If you line up everyone on the earth around like the whole thing and each one takes a turn jumping forever.
Maybe that's why we have global warming, is because too many people are jumping. We're slowly moving
Well, on that lovely note, Caleb, do you have anything else to add to the podcast before we close? Anything at all? Any words of wisdom to leave our wonderful listeners with?
no.
What's one thing that you would say to anyone who wanted to come to camp next year?
Bring your reindeer.
It's a great idea. Great wisdom. Well,
And a tarp.
guys, and a tarp, even better. Especially if you bring rain gear and a tarp, it will be a great day to be a scout at Camp Davy Fun.
Bye.
Bye.
Camp Davy Chronicles. It's a podcast about Camp Davy Crockett.